Hello and good morning. I'm Jen Houston, owner of the Artsy Fartsy Gallery. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator full-time here in Canada. Welcome to the first episode of The Creative Escape. Now, what the Creative Escape is just a show where it's going to help you with some ideas. It's going to give you some template ideas. It's for those people that get really stuck when you sit down to make a card and you've got all your supplies there and you think you're inspired and ready to roll, but you kind of get stuck a little bit. And so this is going to help you with getting going. So you'll learn some tips and tricks and all sorts of things on this episode. So a couple days earlier, I put out the supply list. If you didn't get that, I will show it right now, and go grab a piece of paper so you can write this down and keep a little binder of all these little tips and techniques so that when you do get stuck, you can kind of revert back to your book there and oh yeah, I know what I can do with this. All right, so that's what this is going to kind of be. So here is the supply list. Just going to get this set up here. So designer series paper, or another name for that is pattern paper. So if you could have 4 pieces that are cut at 1 inch by 3 3/4, then you want another kind of coordinating cardstock, a cardstock that looks kind of nice with that pattern paper. You'll need 4 pieces of those cut at 1 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I gave you the little I'm Canadian and we use metric, and so I've had a lot of learning to do with this, imperial system, these inches and ticks and all sorts of things. So that is what a little clue for that. The third thing, coordinating cardstock base. So whatever you want your base of your card to be, of course it's going to be kind of coordinating, but it needs to be measured at 8.5 by 5.5 and folded in half. Or if you like, you can score it at 4 1/4, and that'll give you kind of a reference point as to where to fold it. Next, you'll need another coordinating cardstock color, 1 piece cut at 1 inch by 3.5 inches. And one of those ends are going to be ribbon cut. And you'll also need a scrap piece of that paper as well. Next, you'll need light or kind of a white piece of scrap cardstock, because you're going to actually stamp a saying onto this. So of course you want it to be lighter, unless of course you have your embossing powder. You can and Versamark, you can always stamp a light greeting onto a darker color, but that might be a little bit out of your comfort zone just yet. The next thing is to have a stamp set or kind of greetings of your choice. So if you want to be making happy birthday cards today, maybe get out a set that you kind of have neat happy birthday sets with, stamp sets. And next, ink and whatever your choice of adhesive is. All right, so that's what that is. Now, one thing about my switcher program here, I'll just get back to this. One thing about our switcher program is when you pop on, I have no idea if you're there. So in order for me to know that I'm not talking to myself, which gets a little dull, let me tell you, please say hello, tell me where you're from. Give me a thumbs up if you are liking something, or hearts if you love something, or let me know if you're participating along with me, or if you're just kind of checking this out and having a watch. All right, so I'm going to flip the screen again. See all these technical difficulties, eh? Technical things, they're great. They really are. All right, so this is the layout we're going to do today. It's going to have 4 little panels, a strip across, and kind of a bordered saying. So that's kind of the idea we're going to. You're with me on the treadmill, Jen says. Oh man, I better keep this exciting. You go, girl, though. Holy. Wow. I wish I had that much energy and stamina. So the first thing I'm going to do, all these cards are going to be different because I've kind of changed up the different kind of patterns and whatnot so that it'll all look different, right? Okay, so this one, hello Tanya, how are you? So this one, for the card base, I'm using Balmy Blue. And for the strips, I'm using the paper from, oh sheesh, I should have got that out. I'll make a list. Anyways, I thought it'd be kind of cute. It's kind of a pattern paper that looks like stitching. So I thought it was neat. And I have some Whisper White pieces. I have some Poppy Parade pieces. So we're gonna get these all together. So these strips of pattern piece of paper, we're going to actually glue onto the cardstock that is very similar in size. So it's just going to have a tiny little border around it. So, oh, and yes, as you can see, Stampin' Up! Comes up with two-sided pattern paper. So, decisions, decisions. So I'm going to glue this on. It's a very small border around, so just be aware of that it's a little smaller than what I normally use, I suppose. So we're just going to get all those glued onto the backs, those cardstock bases. Tanya's okay. I just got home from work. Hello, Lisa. Working hard, are you there, Tanya? Uh-oh. This doesn't look right. I may oh, okay. Here's a teaching moment. If something doesn't look right, or you've glued something in the wrong spot, you know those dental flosses you get from your dentist? Sometimes they're not, I don't like them. I don't know. So they're great for this. So if you've glued something down, don't just try to lift it up because it'll often rip your paper, it'll often kind of warp your paper. So what you're going to do is just take this piece of dental floss and shimmy it behind that paper. It's often easier with a big piece. And now I'm pushing the first bit down. Almost there. There. So now as you can see, I didn't warp and tear, and it, I mean, it did a little bit, but it's nowhere near what it would if you did it differently. So let's try this one. Maybe it'll, did I do this one correct? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put a little more glue on. And stick that down. And I'm just going to make sure this one's okay. Yep, looks good. Guess I must have been sleeping when I was cutting that other one. So what projects do you have on the go, Lisa, today? Jen's running on the treadmill, and Tanya just got home from work. So what are you up to today? Now I'm going to grab a scrap piece of white from somewhere. Is this going to work? Yes. I'm just going to trim it. With my Stampin' Trimmer. So this one was measured at 1. So this one I want to be measured at 1 7/8. And that side looks a little bit wonky, so a very bit wonky. So we'll cut it off. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So now we should have 4 pieces. Did it get stuck? Yes, it did. 4 pieces of our pattern paper onto cardstock. And we're going to start putting that onto the card base. Now the best way I have found to do this is to do the outsides first, and then you can kind of gauge where those inside ones go. So just kind of start with the outside, and then I'll do one on this side. This is our snail tape. It works really quick and really easy to glue things down, which is great. Oh, this paper is so cute. Sometimes it's a great idea to use, to break it up. Break up that wild pattern paper that you're kind of like, it's a little too much for you. So if this is a way to kind of break that up by putting them in little panels as opposed to straight across your paper. All right, so now I'm going to take kind of a guess as to where I want that one to go. And our last one. Kind of line it up there and put it down. There. So we've got our little pattern pieces down. Next, we're going to take that piece of cardstock, the one that we're supposed to make the ribbon cut on the end. And the way I do ribbon cuts is if you cut up the center, do a little snip, and then from the corner to the middle, and then flip it over and do the corner to the middle. You now have a perfect ribbon cut. A lot of people like to start, they start by going on the outsides and then the outsides, and they don't end up even, and it's like bangs, right? You start trimming one way and then, you gotta fix it and trim, then next thing you know, you have no bangs. Speaking from experience, yes. All right, let's get some snail tape on the back of that glue, or back of that ribbon cut. And I'm just lining it right up with the edge of the cardstock base. Put that down. And lastly, we're going to glue a little saying onto kind of that background poppy parade that matches with this ribbon cutted paper. And I got this just for you from the Meant to Be stamp set, and I used it in Balmy Blue. So that's where I got that from. Let's make it fun. So what I'm going to do is glue this down by itself, and to change it up just a tad, I'm going to use some dimensionals behind the Just For You, and then it's going to pop up just a tad. So dimensionals are kind of like little foam dots that raise up a little piece of paper. And they have a backing on them. So it's kind of like double-sided sticky tape. And you need to make sure those hit the garbage, because otherwise they will end up absolutely everywhere. And I'm just going to place that in the center of that background. And that's it. Simple, hey? Very easy, but it looks like you put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it, but it was really simple. To make it a little more exciting, if you wanted, you could put some dazzling diamonds. Girls like diamonds. So you could put those kind of on your card if you wanted a little extra bling. Also, we need to lorify the envelopes. So what that means, I have a friend named Lori Pandolfi, and she makes the most incredible envelopes for her cards. They're as stunning as the card. And so she says that, it's about presentation, right? If you get an envelope just like this, I mean, that's lovely. But if you get an envelope like this, you're kind of like, oh, what's this? So I've just taken some of that pattern paper that we used before, and all I'm going to do is glue a strip onto the bottom of the envelope. And there we go. You have a little matching envelope. Isn't that cute? All right, on to the next one. Let's see. So I've already pre-cut these papers out. Now I'm going to put the envelope and the extra paper aside. And now this one, this cardstock is Me Clover. It's a beautiful bright green, but since it's not white, I kind of want to put an insert on the inside so that you can better see your writing. So this piece is measured at 4 by 5 1/4, if you were wondering. And I'm going to start by gluing that in first. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Glad you liked the card. Okay, so now I'm going to just set that piece aside, and we're going to start like we did the last time by getting out that cardstock and our pattern paper. And now, of course, decisions, decisions. You can have either side of that pattern paper, but I kind of want that green and the blue to pop there. I think it's kind of fun. So I'm gluing these little strips onto the pieces of cardstock, and good. I hope I cut this correctly. Yep. So the color I'm using underneath this color is Night of Navy. It's quite a nice blue. Next one. Glue it up. It's a little crooked, but as I always tell my, oh, look at this paper, all crooked and everything. As I always tell my card class people, you know what? It's not going to be perfect because it's handmade. It's not made by a machine. And that is that is part of the appeal of handmade cards, right? So if it's a little crooked, if it's a little off, not to worry. And there we go, our fourth one is down. Happiness Blooms is happy paper, yes. Happiness Blooms pattern paper is fun. So I'm going to glue these now down to the card base. Once again, I'm going to start on the outsides just to kind of give myself some reference points. Have you used this paper, Lisa? I quite like this pattern, this green and blue. I think it's pretty. Okay, now kind of place it where you think it might go. And I'm not measuring. You could. I'm too lazy for that, frankly. But I think it's more important that you line up all of the top pieces. If you get that right, if it's kind of off a little this way, doesn't really matter. All right, lay that last piece down. Good, looks fun. Now we're going to take our little piece of 1 by, I think it was 3.5, I think. And we're going to do a ribbon cut on one end, once again, starting in the middle. And you're going from the outside to the middle. And I flip it around and cut the same on the other side. And that is going to become my little ribbon across. So I'm going to glue that down. Needs a little help there. Yeah, that looks better. And what I've used this time is going to be this pineapple punch color. There's a few dots interspersed in this paper. I used the Memories and More cards in my class this weekend. Everyone loved them. Yes, Memories and More. Those are lots of fun, and you can make a ton of cards in a hurry, can't you? All right, so I'm going to put that one on top of this ribbon cut. I think I saw Karen. Hello, Karen. How are you? How's your Monday morning? Okay, so then I just cut a little piece of paper, and for this stamp set I used Well Said. There's two bits to it, so these are kind of the larger prominent sayings, I guess, like graduation, groom, bride, friend, congratulations. And then these are more little sayings kind of idea. So what I used was friend from this side and put it in the Call Me Clover. And then in the Night of Navy, I used far apart but close at heart. And I know exactly who I'm going to send this to. So I think it's cute. So there's tons of words in this Well Said bundle. And I think once again I want to pop up that saying, so I'm going to use the dimensionals behind those little foam dots. Let's give them 4. I'm kind of going overboard, but it's you know, blue source, so you want to make sure it's stuck, of course, right? It's blustery and snowy there, Karen. Oh man. I saw way back in Manitoba, there's in Carberry, you know, Brandon area, there was quite the snow dump last night. So our, why do I always get this turned around? Our person who was supposed to be getting rid of our snow for us, shoveling, has not been working out so great. So rushing around last minute trying to get somebody else lined up to clean up our snow. So we need that done. We have tenants in our house right now and I don't want any of them to slip. All right, so there's another finished card. How simple, how quick, how cute. And of course, get some bling on there. And of course we need to glorify the envelopes. Now this one, I've decided I'm going to use that same pattern paper, but this time I'm going to decorate the flap. Ooh, there's a little piece of cardstock hanging in there. I don't want that there. So just run your snail tape, oops, along the envelope flap. Glue this down along the crease. And then if you flip it over, you can see exactly where you need to cut. Jen says, good today, but same again tonight. You get more? Oh, man. Wow. I don't miss living in Manitoba for that reason for sure. I think the only reason that I miss Manitoba is for all the my great friends and people, my family. That's what I miss the most. Yes, but man, the weather here is wonderful. All right, so look at that. Isn't that cute? Simple, but it's so cute. So when you're stuck, give this template a try. All right, I'm going to do another one. I've got 5 of them. Many schools closed in Brandon area, not so up here in Swan River. No, must have missed the storm a little, maybe a little bit, or maybe you guys are just a little tougher. Being up north and all, right? All right, so this is my white card base that we're going to use. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. And here I have lovely lipstick and this All My Love paper with the little hearts. So this might be a great idea for you if you are sending out some Valentines. All right, so our first step, once again, let's see, this is pretty too. Could be an option. I like how everything coordinates with Stampin' Up. Everything's, you know, goes so well with each other. So I'm going to glue this onto our cardstock back. There were tons of elk. There was a big herd, like, oh goodness, tons of them outside our condo building here yesterday. They were all kind of hanging out by the river. The snow was kind of blowing and whatnot, but they were just hanging out, having a rest. So that's something I don't see in Manitoba for sure. Apparently they can be quite vicious. Now this one does not look right. Okay. I am going to do something totally different then, because I don't have any lovely lipstick on hand. No, that's Melon Mambo. Okay, so we're going to just do 3 strips. Let's give this a try, see how this works. Right, it's all trial and error. It's not rocket science. You just, you know, try something, see if you like it. If you don't, change it up a little. I'm actually going to go, I think I'm going to put them closer together on this side. For the ribbon piece. It'll kind of balance out that ribbon piece, I think. Oh, look at this even. The pattern even matched up nicely. Look at that. Fancy dancy. Okay, now I'm just for curiosity's sake gonna lay this here, but I don't think it'll look right. No. So, what we're going to do next, I think that was for the piece across. So I must not have cut enough, that's all. Okay, anyways, let's go with it. I'm gonna put the ribbon over here. So we're going to do our ribbon cut straight up the center. And I turn it over and do the same from the outside to the center. Glue this right along the outside there. That actually looks quite nice. Hey, we came up with another template. Accidents can be a good thing sometimes. And I want to pop up. This time I'm not going to do a layer behind, and I'm also doing a different shape than a rectangle. See, works. So I'm going to put some dimensionals behind. 3 is always good on a circle. Take that backing off. And pop that Happy Valentine's Day down there. And then I also thought, okay, I'm going to cut out a little heart. So I think that's actually going to work out great to fill up kind of this little empty space. I think I'll put it onto the Valentine's. What do we think? Top or bottom? I need some help. Should I put the heart on the top or the bottom? Let's have a vote. While you're voting, I will get some dimensionals on the back. I'm going to use the mini ones for this. They're just a tad smaller. That way it won't hang off the edge. While I'm waiting, I'll take a drink. I really quite like that actually with the 3. I'm impressed with myself. Look at me. Karen says heart on top. Any other takers? Lisa says the bottom. We're gonna have to have an arm wrestle. Top, bottom, middle. Do we compromise? How about we just put it there? Let's just try that. Let's go with that. Jen, we need a tiebreaker. She must be sweating so hard on the treadmill. Top. Jen says top. Oh, okay. Got a tiebreaker. Sorry, Lisa. Here, I bossed you around on your show. Oh, I'm so sorry. Poor Lisa was doing a show and I'm like, no, move that to the bottom. No, do that to the top. You can live with the top. Oh, thank you, thank you. Next card, if you want something specific, we'll let you have your way. There we go. So we have our little heart on top. Right there. All right, cool. So for our envelope, to glorify the envelope, all I'm going to do this time is I'm going to make a ribbon cut on the one end. So of course, middle, outside to the middle, outside to the middle. And all I'm going to do is glue this little ribbon bit to an envelope, just like that. Adds a little something different. Oh, this could use some bling. There you go. Okay, so next one. Oh, that Happy Valentine's Day saying, by the way, was in that Meant to Be stamp set that we had used before, and I used basic gray instead of a black because I thought it'd be a little less harsh. Now this one, oh, they're so cute. My live was fabulous. Thanks for jumping in. Oh, sheesh. It was fabulous. I loved it. And the stamp set we're going to be using is the Sweetest Thing. And it also has the fun paper with all these nifty little things on it. So I'm going to move that aside. Oh, let's start with this. So inside the card base, of course, it's a little dark, so I want to be able to see the writing. So I'm going to use this piece of Whisper White, cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to glue that inside. Done. And I'm going to set that aside with my envelope. Now on to, this one I was planning to switch it up by gluing one piece this way of paper and one piece this way. See where I'm getting? Let's try flip-flopping. Why not, right? See what happens. Or with this, maybe this way, maybe that way. Okay, so that is the plan for this one. So all your pattern paper doesn't have to be exactly the same. It could be different, different colors, different patterns. If you were to have, say, oh sheesh, I cut this one wrong too. No, it's just. If you were to have, say, all black and white patterns, like what is on that Butterfly DSP, Designer Series paper, and used, you know, all different black and white patterns, I think that'd be stunning. So that's just kind of what this is going to show. Mix up your pattern pieces. Are you huffing and puffing, Jen, yet? Have you always gone on the treadmill, or have you, is this a New Year's resolution thing? Okay, now we're going to glue this onto our card base. This, by the way, was Bermuda Bay. These little pieces behind are Coastal Cabana. And of course, I kind of get my inspiration from the picture, the pattern paper, right? So I saw there was lots of Coastal Cabana on those little gummy bears, and I saw there was Coastal Cabana kind of color on this striped piece. So that's kind of where I got my idea from. Let's glue this on the outside as well. And now for the gummy bears. That. So different patterns. Done 3 miles. I always have. I used to be addicted. I would walk 4 to 6 miles. Holy moly, woman. Good for you. Wow. All right, here's our piece we're going to ribbon cut. I'm using Lovely Lipstick. Okay, and that's going to go across there. Well, good for you, Jen. That's awesome. Get in the habit. That's probably the hardest part, hey? You just something you need to do. All right, so now I used Make It a Sweet Celebration, but as you can see, I broke it up. So I did Make It a in the black, then I did Sweet in Lovely Lipstick, and this part I did in Bermuda Bay. And what I'm going to do is cut it apart. I used this stamp, and it comes with framelits, so you don't even have to cut the thing out. I'm going to put it on here, cut these out, and put it inside the jar. So, let's see. Cut these words apart. And you want to be fairly close to the words. Make it a sweet. This kind of could be used for many things. Could be birthday, could be anniversary, could be wedding, bridal shower. So this is a way you can do some words. If they don't quite fit, it's not happening right, it's too long, doesn't work, cut them up, put them on. It's my therapy. I don't smoke, drink, gamble. I beat the belt instead. A good habit, yes. All right. So I'm going to glue this little jar down onto the label. And get out those little dimensionals, those mini dimensionals, and put this on the back. If you don't have mini dimensionals, of course, you can just cut a regular one in half, and that works just fine too. I'm going to make it a little bit crooked, just because I think it's kind of, right? That kind of card. It's a little prim and proper and pretty. It's just fun. Oh, I can tell I'm going to get lots of dimensionals everywhere because I'm not putting them in the garbage, the dimensional wax. And celebration. There. Make it a sweet celebration. And Stampin' Up! Has come out with this ribbon. Goodness, I would have to look just a second. It is very cool. It's called Reversible Ribbon. Wow, what a name. But the cool part is that it's lemon lime twist on one side, and I'm going to guess that it's Coastal Cabana on the other. Isn't that cool? So I tied a bow, and then so you can kind of decide, do you want, you know, Coastal Cabana more so, or lemon lime twist? So I thought, you know, I'm going to glue this on here somewhere. I think I'll put it right there. That's cute too. Well, anyways, we'll just go with, where did I put my glue dots? Glue dots, here they are. So glue dots work good. They're just teeny tiny, I don't know if you can see that, little dot of glue for these little intricacies that you have to glue down. So if you push your item to the glue dot and then kind of lift it up, and I like to do a couple because you want to make sure it's stuck really well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go here. Just kind of fix up the bow a little. And there we go. It's busy, but it's cute. It'd be so cute for a kid's birthday. All right, so now we have to glorify the envelopes. And what I wanted to do here again was to put this wild pattern paper. You could go this way too. That's what Stampin' Up! Often does, is that if one side of the paper is wild, the other side is usually calm and, you know, so it kind of fits everybody's personality, right? I think a kid would love to see all these cakes and cookies and candies and all these things. So I'm going to put that side out. So once again, for the flap, I just go around the outside, strip in the middle, and place the paper. Oh, let's see, because the pattern's going to be facing down. Place that along the crease, swipe there, and then flip it over, and you can see exactly where you need to cut around that envelope flap. Oh boy, can you imagine? You got this in the mail? Darling, darling, darling. Love it. So bright and busy. All right, the last one I have for us today is a little bit different too. A few more bits and pieces. Same idea. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna use a white cardstock base. This is gonna be our ribbon. That's going to be the background. Okay, so what I decided, let's put a matte kind of onto the card base, which is from the Woodgrain paper. The Woodgrain paper. It's one of my must-haves. Oh, we're out. So with our snail tape, if it's out, you take off this piece and you throw this away and you keep this and you get yourself a refill. Now to save some time, I have got many of these, and so I will just continue on, but so you can buy refills, which is great. All right, I'm gonna lay this down here on top of my Whisper White card base. Great. Now, for this, Lisa inspired me to use this. She used this on her show, which I thought, oh, isn't this bizarre? It's very hard to film. It's actually Grapefruit Grove, which is kind of this orangey color, but it's a foil paper. And what I did to the foil paper was ran it through the Big Shot and put this pattern on it. So isn't that wild? It's like, ooh, a little out there, but let's go with it, right? So I'm going to glue those onto my Grapefruit Grove strips. There, that one's pretty tight on the sides. Somebody had a trick for if you get glue on there. I think it was if you use your Stamp and Mist. Apparently it gets the glue marks off foil, which are kind of hard to get off. Look at my oh my Atlanta. I'm glad you guys all work with me, because it ain't professional, let me tell you. Okay, let's glue down another strip here. Whew. So this Grapefruit Grove foil paper also comes in the lovely lipstick color, and it's free. It's free when you purchase. It can be a free item when you purchase $60 worth of things. You can choose this, and I thought there would be just, you know, maybe 1-2 papers in it. No, there were what, 4? So I was so impressed. So we gotta use this fancy shiny paper. All right, look at that. We're gonna glue that onto our card base now. the other outside. And our last strip. Go down there. Ooh, this one looks a little crooked. Anyways, whatever. It's handmade. All right. Here's my little ribbon cut paper. I decided to use white. See how it goes. I also got out this ribbon. It's kind of an ombre ribbon with that peekaboo peach. Not sure. I was wondering how I could maybe use it. I wonder if I tied a knot onto it. Neat color. All right, now I'm going to trim this off, kind of at an angle. There, and come on. There and there. Okay, now I'm going to glue it down. See, look at what's happening. I didn't throw out my dimensional backs, now they're getting everywhere. My little grapefruit grove back there. Place that down. And awesome at any age, I'm going to pop up with some dimensionals. Awesome at any age comes from the Itty Bitty birthday set. Man, if you need birthday sayings, this is the set for you. Lots of fun things like happy belated birthday. You're not old, you're just older. I want to use this on somebody's card. You're growing up. Anyways, awesome at any age is the one we're using, but lots of fun sayings for sure. And they're small, so they'll fit, you know, on your majority of your cards. Or they can be neat sayings to go inside your card as well, so that works too. And there we have our card. Look at that. Neat. Trippy. All right, now I just have a piece of the wood grain paper I was going to put onto the front of the card. Hang off a little bit, so the easiest way is to flip it around and trim it off. There we go. There's our last card. So all sorts of looks, but basically by using the same technique, right? And this last one. One I made in the first place to give me my idea. Lots of great ideas. So I hope I've helped you to give this template a try. What we're going to do now is I would encourage you to give this template a try and to post the picture of your project underneath in the comments. And I'm going to do a drawing from those people who share their ideas, because we want to share ideas, right? That's how we grow and we learn and we get ideas, and you know, this becomes easier. So if you share, we're going to draw for somebody on Coffee in Cards, which is Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we'll see who the winner is. So I'm pretty excited about that. So if you've enjoyed this and want me to keep doing this, I would encourage you to help me out by doing a few things. So what I'm going to do is just write these things down so that you can see them. So first off, if you could share this video, it may get into the hands of somebody that, you know, oh, this is, I don't like this. Totally their thing, whatever. But it may get into the hands of somebody that loves stamping and wants to get into this. And of course that helps my business grow, right? So second thing, you can make cards yourself. Of course, we're not going to hoard them, right? We're going to send them out, because that gets people talking about these amazing hand cards, right? Handmade cards. And then, so of course, it's going to fall into somebody's hands that says, how do you make this? I don't know. And so it gets them talking. And of course, you can share, oh, I know this lady, you know, Jen Houston from the Artsy Fartsy Gallery, and she makes cards and she sells all the products to make these. Another thing you can do to help is by subscribing to my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is the Artsy Fartsy Gallery. Now the reason why I need subscribers is if I get subscribers, then I can have my own kind of name on there. I need to get 100 subscribers first. So if you could help me out by doing that, that would be wonderful. Fourth thing, you can place an order. And right now is the best time of the year because it's celebration. So if you order $60 worth of things, you actually get to pick your own free item. And like I said, that shiny paper, that was a free item. Perfect. And not only do you get to pick a free item, but if you place an order this month, your name goes into a draw for a $20 Stampin' Up! Shopping spree with me. Who doesn't want to do a shopping spree and get some free items? Also, I will send you personally a handmade card by me in the mail. Some happy mail in amongst all your bills, right? And also, I will send you a little gift. And also, if you purchase $40, if your order is $40 or more, I'm going to send you a tutorial bundle. So there are a bunch of us ladies, Lisa included, that you saw in here today. She's from the US. There are people from all over the world that are going to join us in our little group here. And we are going to each create a card from the New Occasions catalog, and we're going to write out all the steps and all the, you know, directions on how to make that card. And so you will get that bundle for free. More ideas. Isn't that perfect? All right, so if you order, those are all the awesome things that will happen. If you do order, could you please use the host code? And the host code for January this month is FQ7HPDCM. All right, that just helps me pay for these little gifts that I end up sending you back because you're ordering. All right. Oh, whoops, missed a line here. If you're shopping, where you can go is www.jen, with two N's, Houston like the city, .stampin, no G, up.net. That will help you get started on your ordering process. And lastly, you can also join Stampin' Up! And you will get, oh, the benefits of joining are quite amazing right now during celebration. And plus with that, you get to join my Artsy Hearts team, where we share all sorts of ideas, and there are little challenges and prizes and gifts and bonuses if you get to different levels and all sorts of, we have lots of fun. All right, so that, if you want to join, you can visit my blog, and the address for my blog is the Artsy, Fartsy. You get to say Fartsy and it's not. My nieces love, oh, there, Fartsy Gallery.com, and it will help you be able to join. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've been inspired to give this little idea a try. And of course, share your projects. Please, please, so we can all get each other's ideas, and share your oopses like I did with this one. You know, if something happened and it ends up a little different, show that too, because that just generates a new idea. Look at that. I wouldn't have thought of that before. All right. I hope you ladies have a wonderful day. I'm so glad you stopped by to say hello today. It was lovely chit-chatting with you. That's always my favorite part. All right, so we will hopefully see you on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for Coffee and Cards, where we'll do another new technique. All right, have a good week.